Gotta flip it. Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment of our show brought to you by Southeast Termite and Pest Control. Here's a fun termite fact for you. Termite colonies take about 3 to 5 years to mature. You don't see those swarmers flying around until the colony is mature. So if you see swarmers, that means termites have likely been doing their damage for a while. And if you don't see swarmers, that doesn't necessarily mean you're in the clear. In other words, you need a free inspection from Southeast Termite and Pest Control. Free inspection. Costs you nothing, could save you tons. Southeast Termite and Pest Control, they'll come out, check your house, give you a free inspection to check for termites. And you can't just go by those swarmers floating around. Southeast Termite and Pest Control. All right, back to my swarmers here. Couple of topics in our mixed bag today. Rick Barnes has filled out his bench staff, and he got the big gun Vol fans were really hoping for, and that's Rob Lanier. Last week we said Texas folks were expecting him to stay. He worked with Shaka Smart at Florida. I think everybody did expect him to stay. Then he comes here as associate head coach to the tune of $375,000. That's the biggest assistant payout for a UT assistant basketball coach, I think, in history. Heck, there were times when your head coach didn't make anything close to that. You look overall, and Tennessee is splurging. Let's go ahead and look at all the coaches he's got. Rob Lanier, associate head coach, just their last few jobs. He's at Texas, an assistant at Florida, assistant at Virginia, former Siena head coach. Chris Ogden comes along, another really good recruiter. He's been with Rick Barnes at Texas for his entire career. Desmond Oliver joins the staff. He's been at Charlotte, Canisius, Georgia, so he knows the area. So you mix that all up, Tennessee, Barnes plus all the assistants, Tennessee spending $3 million on its basketball staff. A lot of people have said they won't spend. How does this, I mean, this changes that tune forever, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think this is shaping up to be a transformative period for Tennessee's basketball team. Now, they've got to win. Rick Barnes has to come in and you've got to win. But I don't see, if he comes in, and let's say he fails in 3 years, how do you back away now and go back to saying, okay, we're going to go to a mid-major guy who's unproven, et cetera, et cetera. So I kind of think you've changed your template at UT going forward. And if he wins, it doesn't matter. You've got your coach for the next decade.
I think you certainly have in terms of fan thoughts. You know,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
The school still may go back to a mid-major, but I think fans will always say, okay, you're paying the last guy $3. Or the last staff $3.
You weren't going to get Rick Barnes unless you committed to paying this kind of money for his staff. That was part of the negotiation with Rick Barnes.
And and Lanier and Ogden, you go look at the guys that they recruited to Texas. Just the list of All-Americans and NBA players, it is big time. So the Lanier get, huge for Tennessee. Here's something else that's huge. In case you missed the latest offerings from Nike, still waiting to see what they do to Tennessee. Purdue unveiled a new alternate look this week. What do you know? It's gray. In so many schools in this country, and they all wear smoky gray. I didn't realize they all had ties to Tennessee's unique smoky gray. But here's my favorite. Let's go to this. That's TCU. That's a frog skin uniform.
Yeah.
They are the Horned Frogs, so they have given it, and a horned frog, in case you don't know, is more lizard than frog. It has a lizard scale pattern to it. So my point is, right now, somewhere, doodling on a napkin, is a Nike person coming up with a coonskin or blue tick pattern for Tennessee's football uniforms.
Leave it alone.
Frog skin, baby.
Leave it alone.
No.
Frog skin.
You're making me nauseous, John.
Don't you think that little coonskin pound splotches across the uniform look great in a pattern? Come on. Coonskin pattern? You wouldn't like that?
How about a walking horse? Let's go with a walking horse pattern.
Nike's listening.
That napkin.
Could you do head-to-toe checkerboard? Would that work?
There you go.
Kentucky's already got the checkerboard, but you never know. All right. And that was Nike that put the checkerboard on Kentucky's uniforms because it matched Secretariat's racing silks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Boy, they go to any length to justify this crap, don't they?
I'm telling you. Just wait. Coonskin uniforms. They'll have a hat
I'll
that has
bet
a
you they
tail. They'll have a helmet that has a tail hanging off the
Pay
back.
the people more to justify it than they do that come up with it.
All right, when we come back, we still got plenty of more UT to talk about. I want to talk about how historians will look at Gino Auriemma versus Pat Summitt. But first, a little about Knoxville minor league sports, the Smokies and Ice Bears. Come on back.
From East Tennessee to Kentucky, no job is too small for Benedict Construction. Electrical work, heating and air installation, even carports and garages. With a reputation for excellence, rely on the custom work of Benedict Construction.